Hey everyone, it's Vanessa and welcome back to Late Night Frights. This week we are doing more battles, so I will be battling Poltergeist 2 versus Phantasm 2. So, without further ado, let's just get started. The basic plot of Phantasm 2 is Mike, after he's released from the psychiatric hospital, to try and find the tall man and kill him. So kind of very similar to the first one, but not as good. Poltergeist 2, the other side, is kind of about thing as the first one, except it's a new house and it continues. And it's like the same thing, you know, they move into this new house, but the same thing goes on. There's still supernatural stuff, and the little girl is still having those problems and issues and all that kind of stuff. So each sequel is very similar to the first one, but with minor differences. And yeah, so those are pretty much the plots. Very brief, but like I said, they're just very similar to the first one. So if you've seen the first film, you know, just like that. I'm gonna get started with the horror battle. Round 1 is story. Which story is better? Probably gonna have to go with Poltergeist 2. I really like that story. I really like the first one. So I really think the story is very cool in this movie. Round 2 is originality, uniqueness, creativity, all that kind of stuff. Which movie had a bit more creativity and which movie lacked creativity? Which movie was probably better with creativity is Phantasm 2, because like towards the end it got really creative, and I think the just whole story is very different, and unlike Poltergeist where you've seen that story, supernatural stuff so much now. And for now, round 3, acting/actors. For the cast of Poltergeist 2, you still have the same girl. You have Heather O'Clerc. She does a fantastic job again. And in this film, she just does a great job. She passed away after the third film, which was very sad and depressing. Very sad. Rest in peace. So, the cast was still good, but I feel like she acted better in the first one. That may just be me, but she's just did an amazing job in this film. The Phantasm 2, I didn't really see much good acting besides, you know, from the tall man. So I still think the acting was okay, but for acting and actors and all the stuff, I'm gonna have to give it to Poltergeist 2, because I just think the acting was a lot better than Phantasm 2. In Phantasm 2, it got really cheesy. Even the ending was really cheesy, and I don't want to say predictable, but you knew something wasn't right. It just felt too, like, good and okay. So that was kind of predictable, but that's just a whole other thing. Next, we have round 4, which is killers, kills, body count, all that kind of stuff. So, who would you consider the killer in these films? I guess in Phantasm you would consider the tall man, and in Poltergeist 2, I guess you'd say the spirits. So with that, since you can't really give like a killer, like the killer or the spirits, but I'm guessing the kills, I really like the kills in each film, but the killer has to go to Phantasm 2. I really think the killer is iconic. The tall man, he's not he can't be an icon, but I don't think he's like really up there. I feel like he's kind of with like the level of like Samara and stuff like that. Very good like horror villain, horror icon, very good killer, and that's why round 4 goes to Phantasm 2. Coming to an end, round 5, last round. Which movie was overall as a whole film entertaining to watch, fun, creepy, like a movie if I had to choose between the two of them, which I would watch right now? It's kind of a hard one because, like I said in the beginning, I like both of these films, or I don't know if I said that, but I do like both of these films, and they're just both very entertaining to watch, and both of them are not my favorite sequels. They're not the best sequels, and they're definitely not as good as the originals. But if I had to choose, I'd probably have to go with Poltergeist 2. And The Other Side, or yeah, The Blind Side. No, not The Blind Side. So I don't know if you agree with my decision or agree with this battle or anything like that, but I don't know. I think that Poltergeist 2 it's not as good as the first one, but I enjoy it, and I do enjoy it more than Phantasm 2. Phantasm 2 at parts, it just gets too cheesy for me and boring sometimes as well. So, but yeah, that was my horror battle. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you all next Friday. Bye!